Hi, I'm Laura Suter, Editor of Fund Strategy, and I'm joined here today by Annalise Toberman, Senior Researcher at the Platform. We're here to discuss Platform's recently released European Funds Distribution Report. So Annalise, there were some really interesting finds in it, but I think that the first topic we should start with is MiFID II.
Mm-hmm.
So what did the survey find out about the wider impact that's likely to have on the funds industry?
I suppose for people who aren't really familiar with the legislation, we've sort of been consumed in the UK by our own RDR and not really focused on MiFID II until more recently. One of the main impacts that the regulation will have is a commission ban on independent financial advisors collecting commissions from fund managers. And in the UK, we've already gone beyond that. In the Dutch market, there is also a full commission ban on independent and non-independent advice. And in the Swedish market, they've just announced that they're going to go for a more all-encompassing ban as well. What was interesting from the research is when we asked distributors, platforms, and also the asset managers what they thought would happen. Will there be a full commission ban ultimately across Europe? Is it a slippery slope? The overwhelming response was no. Only a quarter thought that there would be a full pan-European commission ban ultimately. You have markets like Italy, Spain and France that are very bank or insurance dominated, and they're not going to give up rebates without a fight. They're not going to move beyond the regulation unless they absolutely have to, is our view.
And so with the regulation, what does it mean ultimately for the end investor?
So the whole point of MiFID II is about consumer protection. It's about improving transparency for the consumer in terms of new charge disclosure rules, and also by having an unbundled pricing structure, allowing the consumer to make better choices about how they invest. So a lot of people think it is ultimately good for the consumer. What's quite interesting though is that the regulation might cause there to be less choice for the end consumer ultimately if banks are not incentivized to sell third-party funds by rebates, if they go back to selling their own products, whether these are a single strategy or some kind of multi-manager package solution, ultimately the consumer might miss out on that. And the other issue that we've seen in the UK, we talk a lot about the advice gap. If consumers are effectively priced out of advice, that also might lessen their options.
So what does this ultimately mean for the platform industry then? What's the impact on them?
So at the Platform, we're quite biased, but our research also shows that it could be potentially very good for the platform industry. If you look at the institutional platforms that service other retail platforms, but also banks, insurance companies and private banks across the continent, they have a real opportunity here. As margin pressure increases, they can offer some kind of efficiency gains by helping private banks to run their fund admin more efficiently. They also offer quite a lot of services in terms of compliance, know your client, anti-money laundering and that sort of thing. So we've already heard about cross-border platforms in particular picking up clients where these guys are looking to outsource more to help restructure their businesses. And in terms of the D2C platforms, there's opportunity there as well. If consumers are priced out of advice or if they become more savvy as a result of the regulation, they might be looking increasingly to become more self-directed.
Excellent. Thanks a lot for joining us today. Really interesting stuff.